What is up, guys? So recently I saw the new film Together, starring the real life couple Dave Franco and Alison Brie, and they play the characters Millie and Tim respectively. Now, if I have to sum this movie up in one sentence, it's about a couple who literally have their bodies like joined together. And I'm not talking metaphorically, I'm not talking in any poetic way. Like, it's literally about a couple and their bodies slowly like fuse together. That's literally the plotline of this film. Now, I will say this, there might be a few minor spoilers in this video here and there, but nothing major that it'll ruin the movie for you. Now, at the beginning of the movie, you have this search party like in the woods because they're searching for another missing couple. These two search dogs, for some reason, I don't know how, but they fell into this hole. And inside this hole, there's like this big dark well that's filled with like this dark looking water. And both dogs drink that water. And later on, they're like literally fused together, like they're conjoined. Now, for obvious reasons, this scene was put at the beginning of the movie because by showing us what happens to the dogs, the beginning is pretty much letting us know that, yeah, the couple is literally about to become joined together later in the film. Right away, you could tell like there's tension in their relationship because, again, minor spoiler alerts, I'm just letting you know before you like continue on with this video. They're having a going away party because they're moving to the countryside since Millie got a job as a preschool teacher. So at their going away party in front of all their friends, she's the one that proposes to her boyfriend Tim, but Tim reluctantly like agrees to the proposal, which like kind of embarrasses her in front of everybody. So automatically you could tell like there's like something going on with the relationship. So Tim is actually an aspiring musician, but he's not where he wants to be in his life. Like, he hasn't achieved his goals yet, and Millie is obviously very critical of that. And on top of that, like, they're not having sex. Like, that's pretty much thrown at us as a fact that they're not even sleeping together. And for whatever reason, Tim has like commitment issues or whatever. He's not having sex with this really beautiful girl. So that's pretty much the beginning of the movie to let us know what kind of characters we're dealing with. Now, later on, when they move to their new home in the countryside, they decide to go for a hike. And what do you know? Eventually they get lost. They find that big hole that the dogs also fell into at the beginning of the film. And of course, it wouldn't be a story unless something crazy happens. So Tim decides to drink from the water. And you already know where this is going. The very next day, Tim and his girl, like, their legs are like fused together. Now, I will say there seems to be like some kind of mysterious force because against Tim's will, like, his body just moves on his own. Like, he gravitates towards Allie throughout the movie, and Allie thinks it's Tim being like just affectionate towards her and finally just showing her some appreciation and showing her the love that she deserves. But no, it's actually the water that he drank that's making his body move on his own. And for some reason, whatever Tim drank from that water, for some reason, Millie also has the same problem. Even though she didn't drink the water, like, her body just moves against her will. So throughout the movie, their bodies are slowly like gravitating towards each other, like, until they like 100% fuse. Now, some of the scenes, they're pretty like intense to watch because there are moments where their bodies are actually like fused together and they have to find ways to like separate themselves. Is this movie gory? It's not gory like in the traditional sense of a gory movie like Saw or anything along those lines. But there were moments where it was pretty intense to watch. I'm not going to give anything away, but at the end of the movie, it was a bittersweet ending. Like, both characters, they ultimately get what they want, but not in the way that I expected. Overall, the movie itself had a good premise. It was something I don't usually see in a movie. The acting was great. I love Dave Franco and Alison Brie. Like, they're both very good in their roles as a couple. And because they're a couple in real life, maybe that was why their chemistry felt so natural. Ultimately, I felt like this movie was about like a failing relationship between a couple. And there's like a mysterious force like trying to bring that couple together. That's just how I felt. I mean, I don't like metaphorical meanings. I don't really look for that kind of thing while I'm watching a film. But after watching this movie, that's the first thing that came to my mind. Like, it's ultimately about a couple just trying to fix their relationship and like make things work out in the end. And it just so happens that they have to go through hell, like literally, in order to achieve that goal. It's the first time I've seen the movie with this kind of story, so that's why I enjoyed it a lot more, because it was so fresh and original to me. It did have a few scary scenes here and there. There were scenes that really made me go like, what the fuck is going on? I do highly recommend watching this movie at least once. Thank you guys again for watching this movie review. I highly recommend watching together. And if you have a friend that you want to go watch it with, go watch it together. You see what I did there?